Welcome, it's Denome, and congratulations to everybody who made a lot of money during this price move. When we called the bottom on video, we called the bottom also on X and on Discord as well. So congratulations if you made money so far, and I do still believe that we are still in an upward move that has not finished yet. So we're expecting the price to actually hit here, and in this video I will explain exactly what caused the market crash, what will happen in the short term, and also in the medium term and in the long term. And I will give you a full trading strategy that you don't have to worry about if there's going to be another market crash, if it will continue, if there's going to be a market crash in the medium term or in the long term. So I will give you a full, complete trading strategy in this video based on the market condition right now. And I will give you that, should I give it to you now or later? I will give it to you later, so you will watch the full video. So anyway, let's actually talk about what caused the price crash. Then I will start commenting on the price. So let's actually talk about Japan, because that was basically what caused the market crash. So Japanese Nikkei, which is the index of Japanese stock market, you can see that in the last 3 days, the stock market in Japan went down roughly 20%. And you can imagine the panic it causes when a country's stock market goes down 20%. Basically, the wealth of the nation goes down 20%. That had a lot of cascading effects. We already had a bounce to the upside here, but I will comment on what I expect soon. But what basically caused this market crash here has something to do with Japanese yen and United States dollar. So I'll take a look at this post soon. But when we actually take a look at JPY and USD conversion rate, you can see from July 11th, this went up 14%. And that caused a lot of turmoil in the markets. So here Adam actually explains everything very beautifully. So basically what happened is traders, they were borrowing Japanese yen to buy United States stocks. And that basically caused them to be squeezed in 3 directions at the same time. The first direction is that the Japanese central bank, they had increased the interest rates, which means that the Japanese yen that they borrowed, they had to pay higher fees to simply uphold those positions. Then, at the same time, United States stock markets are going down. So that's already 2 ways that they have to pay more money or they are losing money on the trade. And the third way they are losing money is because of the high interest rates in Japan, the JPY against the United States dollar trading pair started to go up. So now when they do sell the United States stocks, they have to convert the US dollar back to Japanese yen at a lower or a worse conversion rate than when they took the loan. So that's 3 ways they got squeezed, and that caused a massive unwinding of these trade positions. And Adam here says that this is a short-term crisis, and this panic gave him the opportunity to scoop up high-quality United States stock at bigger and bigger discounts. So I don't know if these positions are now liquidated and gone and we're now back into the bull zone, or if there's still more of these positions that need to be unwinded. I don't know exactly. I personally think that this short-term price move has actually gone away. We don't have this risk anymore, but we have another market risk. I will tell you exactly what. So let's take a look at Nikkei once again, because I want to show you something that I didn't show you yet. So this is the stock market once again. We had the 20% drop, but when we actually take a look at the monthly view for the stock market, you can see that we made a new all-time high this spring of 2024. The previous all-time high was from 1990. Imagine if you were a Japanese investor and you were holding stocks for 15 years and the stock market is down 82%. You would be a little bit pissed off, no? Now, from 2010 until today, the Japanese stock market has been on a complete tear and it has gone up 500%. Very, very good. But does this chart look to you like it wants to continue to go up? Like, do you think this will double in price again? Perhaps not. I think this wants to go down. So I think we will be hearing about Japanese stock market further as the time goes on. I think this will continue to crash, to be honest. When was the last time you bought something Japanese? Like previously, obviously you have the PlayStations, the Sonys, the Nintendos, electronics, but that was pretty much all in the 1990s. What do you buy now from Japan? Mostly maybe some cars like Toyota, but now you have Korean cars and you have Chinese cars entering the market. And Japan has basically lost its status as a manufacturer. And when you take a look at the Japan demographics, there's a population that's becoming older, there's not enough children, and the people who are getting older are out of their productive years already. So all those things together, I just don't see the stock market in Japan going upwards. I think this is going to crash, man. Maybe there's some relief rally right now, but I do expect further downside here. This was simply the beginning of a crash. That's my take. And as of now, as of today, I looked at the news and still the Japanese central bank has not pivoted into money printing. They are not cutting rates yet. Let's see when they will do that and how much further this will crash. But this just looks like it wants to go down. But at the same time, I believe that people are basically flying to safety out of these falling markets into global markets, into United States stocks, and maybe even into crypto. And there's our potential. But now there's another thing that happened besides this Japan situation. There was Nasdaq. So Nasdaq yesterday, when we took a look at the Nasdaq futures, which already trade before the Nasdaq itself opens. So the Nasdaq futures, these started to trade below the trend line here yesterday. And then these went down like 6%, 6.5% below the trend line already in one single day. Then we got some good economic data from the United States and we had a bounce. But even now we're still below the trend line, which kind of signals to me that we are actually in a bear market right now. So I don't know what all of these people are talking about, like a small dip in bull market. When we take a look at this chart, when we fall below the structure here, that is usually the signal of another bear market coming. So we had a bear market here in 2022 to 2023, and we had here from 2019 to 2020. And then we had the COVID crash here, which was very, very fast. We went back to the trend line. During this crash, 2022, 2023, we did not go to the trend line here. So I don't know if we will go to the trend line or not, but this simply seems like we went down. Now we're retouching the resistance and we will go further down. I don't know if Bitcoin and crypto will go down with it or not, but it does not seem to me like it wants to go up unless the Federal Reserve actually pivots. They start cutting rates and they start the money printers once again. But as of now, it looks like to me that this is in the bear market. Even when we take a look at S&P 500, this has been trading below the trend line for a while now, and I called this the bear market already some time ago, and now this has gone even more down. It had a nice bounce, yes, but we're still trading lower than we are trading yesterday. So I don't know how low this will go either. When I compare it to the stock market crash with the Bitcoin crash, it's not 100% correlated. So Bitcoin goes up even though S&P 500 goes down sometimes. So it's not 100% correlated with each other. But typically the move is basically the same. And many people are now basically expecting a pivot in central bank policies, that we will start seeing the money printers go back online. And that's why so many people are bullish. So here's an idea that Henrik Zeberg, who I have to give a shout out to, he shared this tweet here from Crypto Rover, but he has been calling a blow off top at least, I don't know, 1.5 years already. And I featured him on this channel a couple of times. But basically what he's saying is that this was the COVID crash. We saw the market overreaction that this is the same overreaction now, and now we see like a back to the bull zone. But even in this scenario, you still have to know that there is a recession coming. So when we take a look at the 10-year and 2-year treasury yields, you can see that the yields have been inverted. And this is a recession indicator when this goes below the line. Like in 2019, this went below the line. After it went back up to above the line, we had the COVID crash in 2020, a few months later. In 2007, you saw these were inverted, these yields. When they went back above the line, a few months later, we finally had the recession. Same thing here in 2000 and 2001. The yields went back up above the line, and then we had the recession finally. So it could be that the recession is coming, but it is not coming as fast as I might be imagining. So it might come in 6 months or 9 months from now even. Yesterday, these yields, they briefly went above the line, but immediately crashed below the line again. And this is the first time it has happened over a year. So that gives me a signal that we are very close to the inversion flipping back and very close to actually reaching that recession line soon. But that is coming. We will have a recession. So it is coming. You have to keep that in mind, even if we have the bullish move. So now let me share you the strategy that you can make money with regardless if there's going to be a market crash or if there's not going to be a market crash. So what is the strategy? It's very, very simple. Only thing you need is Ethereum. You can do this with Bitcoin, or you can maybe do it with another altcoin, but I would do this with Ethereum because this has given the best signals so far, in my opinion, and it is a representative of the full crypto market. So what you do is you draw these exact lines that I have here on the chart, and you basically have the stop loss here at $2,102. If we go below it, you sell absolutely everything you have. If, however, we reach 2,800, you also sell everything you have. So basically, within this zone, we are bullish. Right here, we are bearish. So then the markets, they may do two things. They either crash or they go above. And in this scenario, you have sold everything. So you either buy back at roughly 2,200 or 2,300, or you buy back at 2,900. If the price goes to 2,900, your new stop loss area will be below the white line here, roughly 2,780 or 2,770, something like this. So this is the highest risk zone because we have no idea what happens. Maybe Iran attacks Israel. Maybe Michelle Obama becomes the nominee for Democrats. Maybe the stock market in Japan crashes, or in Germany crashes, or the Chinese stock market or real estate mogul crashes. Who knows what happens? This is a very volatile time. So this is the highest risk area. So you sell everything, but if the price goes above here, that will give you a new base. And from here, you do the same thing. Your stop loss is here, and then the next line you will sell everything is below the yellow line here. So that will be this line here. You sell everything again. If we go above it, that's where you will buy back once again, and you have a stop loss below here. But if we go here, you sell everything, the price of Ethereum goes back down here. That's when you buy back Ethereum, and then your stop loss will be below the white line here once again. So you're basically just flipping back and forth within this zone here. And that's the whole strategy. Use this line as your base for stop losses and where to sell. This line as your base for selling and as your stop loss if we go above it. And this line you buy back into the market, and below it you have your stop loss. That's it. That's the simple strategy. And then after election, obviously the monetary policy finally will shift, most likely, if not before that already, because the Fed already pivots and this actually comes true, because I do see this as a possibility. Let's actually take a look at the Bitcoin price, that from here we do have that violent recovery back here, and we hover, and then before the election we start breaking to the upside, or even who cares after the election. But anyway, that could very well happen. But if that is the case, with my strategy, you're basically gaining most of the upside while you're basically limiting your downside risk with the best possible strategy that at least I was able to come up with. That's the whole strategy. And it doesn't matter how many times it bounces back and forth within the area. You're not simply holding the asset, all of these ups and downs, but you are making money while you are basically holding a long bet. That's the whole idea. Now let's talk about the fundamentals finally, because I do want to show that. I know this is a long video, but I think this is important to show as well. So first off, let's take a look at Ethereum ETFs. We saw yesterday a little bit of inflows, so $6.4 million of buying. Unfortunately, when we take a look at Bitcoin ETF holders, they actually sold in Friday and on Monday, a total of $400 million worth of selling, which is obviously not great, but it is what it is. And then we have the sentiment here. And here there's a couple of interesting things that I do want to show you, is that old investors who have held Bitcoin for more than a year and 3 years, basically no selling here. Just a little bit. Some of the people who held Bitcoin for more than 1 year sold, and some people who held more than 3 years sold, but not a lot of like a major panic selling. I'm not seeing that here on this chart at least. And when we actually take a look at the stable coins, we saw more minting of stable coins, as well as we saw supply leaving exchanges once again in this move, which signals to me that people are not panicking. People want to hold Bitcoin long term. They went to the exchange, they bought the Bitcoin out of the exchange and put it in their private wallets. That's what mostly happened here. If this would go up, I would expect the price move continue to the downside, because that would signal that people want to deposit Bitcoin into exchanges to trade their Bitcoin in the exchange for something else like fiat or like stable coins. But that did not happen. The opposite happened. So I still see more demand for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, and for crypto. So maybe even if we are in this bear market right now with Nasdaq and S&P 500, maybe crypto will still continue to go up. Maybe the Fed pivots. If it pivots, then I can expect Bitcoin to and crypto to reach new all-time highs. But if it doesn't pivot, you have taken your profits out of the table and you're waiting for better prices once again. So that's pretty much everything I had for this video. Let me know what you thought of my trading strategy that will basically help you navigate this market with good or decent risk management idea. Let me know in the comments, what do you think will happen in the short term? Do you think the Fed will pivot? Do you even think we are in a bear market or not? What do you think will happen next? I'm very curious to know. And if you want to join the discussion and get live updates and talk to me when things happen, you can join the Discord. The link is in the description as well. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.